Hello, welcome, YouTube people, to another edited video. I am Jess, I am the Lightheart Alchemist, and I'm going to talk about the Enneagram a little bit today. I've always been really into personality tests. I was really into Myers-Briggs for a minute there. My friend Mar, shout out to Mar, kind of told me that the personality tests were debunked. There's no scientific basis in them. That kind of made me sad. I was like, oh, okay. And then I stopped talking about Myers-Briggs for a long time. I want to see, it was 2021, I discovered the Enneagram. The Enneagram, I think this is where it started for me. I was at a point where I was like, as long as I have peace within, then whatever's happening outside of myself don't matter. And I was getting really zen. I was at that point where I was like, oh, inner peace is all I need. And then I discovered the Enneagram. And I'm a type 9, which is called the peacemaker. That type will avoid conflict at any costs. Really obsessed with comfort and willing to neglect your own desires for the sake of going along to get along. Kind of forgetting your own preferences and desires because you've done that for so long. Oh, where do you want to eat? Oh, whatever. Wherever you guys want to go is fine. Doing that for a long time can make you forget what you actually like and don't like. So kind of ripped my world apart because I was like, oh, I have inner peace, that's all I need. And then the Enneagram's like, yeah, well, that's exactly your problem. You need to speak up for yourself, pretty much. That's kind of the 9 thing. I've been obsessed with the Enneagram since then. It never gets old. There's always something new to learn. There are a lot of different aspects of the Enneagram. It can be a little overwhelming to get into. I feel like it's very much self-driven. Getting to know the Enneagram. There isn't like a single book I would recommend or a website. There's a lot. And that's kind of why I love it. But anyway, let's talk about the Enneagram. I've been told that, people don't like personality tests because it puts you in a box. And I would argue you've put yourself in a box. Think about it. The world has put you in a box. I like to think that, we are all pieces of a puzzle. And yeah, we might be in the puzzle box, but we're supposed to be in there. The Enneagram kind of helps you figure out what your shape is like, where you would fit best in the puzzle, like where your spot in the puzzle, where you will do the most good. If you're a puzzle piece, and we're all puzzle pieces, we're trying to put this puzzle together, it's really important to know where your piece goes, or what other pieces that your piece fits together with. And then that puzzle kind of creates a map. It's the path forward. So it's like, here we go. This only works if we all do it together. We can only put this puzzle together if we all have an understanding of ourselves and our puzzle piece, our spot on the table. Enneagram, to me, stands out from other personality tests in that instead of telling you like you're an introvert or you're an extrovert or you like to plan things or you live by the seat of your pants, what is the freaking phrase? The Enneagram is more focused on a core wounding. I'll take myself for example, an Enneagram 9. It is common for 9s to have grown up in an environment where they didn't feel seen or valued or heard. So they internalize the belief that their thoughts and opinions, and what I do as a 9 doesn't matter. People don't care. So, having internalized that message that what I say doesn't matter, I just kind of let my opinion and my, my desires, my thoughts, my feelings go by the wayside, because what's the point in bringing it up? And then, later in life, that is a problem, because as a human, you have preferences. You will, build resentment for other people not honoring your wishes and desires and stuff. It's a whole thing. That's the 9. And I like the Enneagram because each type has like a core wounding. One that gives you something to focus on, to know what your kind of weak point is. Just the starting point, People with a lot of trauma, it's like, where the fuck do I start? Once you find your type, you'll know it's your type because you will be offended. They say we are all the types. We are every type. We are a whole human. But one of these is your type. It's your wounding that you gotta work on. So, also, I really like symbols. Symbols are my thing right now. I don't like that. Considering how much there is to consider with the Enneagram, I'm not going to go into each type. I'm not going to explain what the types are. I'm going to kind of give you what I think is a good skeleton, good lesson plan. The bare bones. I'm gonna give you my suggestion for how to go about your journey. Take an Enneagram test. People in the community, the Enneagram community, will tell you that you need to have somebody test you. I haven't had one done yet, so I could be totally wrong about my type. I don't think I am. I recommend taking multiple tests online. If you can find somebody to type you, I recommend doing that. Enneagram Institute are my most trusted Enneagram people. The big Hormone Enneagram church. Take multiple tests. Worry only about the one main number. You'll see things like 9W8, which is a 9-wing 8. Try and ignore that for now. When you take a test, it should give you a couple that it thinks are your most probable type. Read up on those types. Whichever one offends you the most is probably going to be your type. And there are different things you can do to kind of verify that. One of the things is the wings. This will be number 2. After you know what your type is, then you can find your wing. So if you look at this, it's 1 through 9, like a clock. I'm a 9 up here, and I have an 8 wing. So they say that your type is the result of the tension of your 2 wings. 8 is the challenger, 1 is the perfectionist, 9 is the peacemaker. To me, that is, challenger is like, I think their wound is like power, like being in your own power. 1 is the perfectionist, which is doing things right, not righteousness, but rightness. So to me, the tension of the 9 is the tension between doing what I want and doing what is right. And the 9 is the tension in the middle. That is a concept that I need to explore more on my own before I say anything else, because I am definitely intrigued by it. But I'm a 9-wing 8. So you have access to both your wings, but one of them is your wing. If you're type 1, you can have a 2 or a 9 wing. If you're a type 2, you can have a 1 or a 3 wing, and so on. You can't have a 9 with a 6 wing. Okay, that don't happen. But once you think you have your type, take a look at the wings, the 2 numbers on either side of it, and then read up on those. And one of them you will lean more heavily on. If you found your correct type, if you're an 8, and you go and you read the 8 wing 7 and the 8 wing 9, if one of those sounds more appropriate, then that is likely your type and your wing. Another verification method on this is why there's too much to go into in one video. Anyway. 9. You see these inside numbers or lines. So these are lines of integration and disintegration. 9, integration line to 3. When 9 is in alignment and doing well, they take on the traits of the type 3, which I think is the achiever. This is definitely true for me. I get more organized on top of shit. Disintegration line to 6. In times of stress, I think 6 is the loyalist, focused on being a part of the group and working together. 9 moves to 6 in stress. It can show like anxious qualities, uncomfy around folks. So those are the internal lines. So if you take a test and you believe you found your type and you believe you found your wing, check the lines of integration and disintegration from whatever type and read up on those types. And if that sounds right, like, oh, when I'm stressed, I get really, critical of, if I'm a 7, I get really critical of people, like a 1. Multiple ways to kind of validate that the number you found is actually your type. My suggestion, tests, find your most likely type, read up on those types that you get the highest percentage in. If it sounds right, then check the wings. And if the wings don't sound right, if you're like, no, neither of those align for me, then maybe you don't have the right main type. Check the other ones. Main type, then you can worry about your wing. Lines of integration and disintegration. Your type has a core wounding. You can focus on that. Your type has a way of acting in stress and a way of acting when you're good. And you can learn from that. Like, it's knowledge. Knowledge is power. I like the Enneagram because it gives you a roadmap. Other personality tests be like, oh, you're an introvert, be alone about it. The Enneagram is like, this is your core wounding, and this is something that you can work on. This is the path to healing. Enneagram gives you a path to healing, and I like that a lot. The Enneagram can be daunting. There is a lot of different aspects to get into, and that's part of why I love it. If you are into podcasts, that is the only podcast that I listen to. The Big Hormone Enneagram. They are raunchy, they are real, they are hilarious. They kind of understand the Enneagram better than I think most of the other videos and podcasts I've watched. I'm not saying they don't understand. There are different schools of thought about certain things, and I trust Big Hormone. They know their shit. They take trips to Egypt and stuff. They're legit. They know what they're talking about. I'll post some links. I'll post some links in the description for some tests that I recommend. But yeah, I fucking love the Enneagram, and I hope you will too. There'll probably be more videos on the Enneagram coming up because I'm obsessed with it. I honestly think it's been the biggest tool in getting me on the healing path and doing right. Like, tarot got me into spirituality, but the Enneagram got me into learning about myself and being authentic. Let me know what you think. I hope this helps. You guys have a good day, and be good and be good at it. We'll see you for the next one.